At 2:17 a.m., my phone lit up with a call from myself. Same number, same tiny photo, me in a yellow hoodie, the one I lost last year. I didn't pick up. It rang out, then a voicemail appeared like a bruise. "Lena," my voice said, breathless. "If you're hearing this, I'm 3 minutes and 23 seconds ahead of you. Do not open the door. Do not look through the peephole. Count to 203, then breathe." I replayed it twice, because the cadence was wrong. My laugh, if I had laughed, would have caved in on itself. Outside, the hallway hummed with the old building's midnight electricity, the elevator cables seething. I stood barefoot on the cold kitchen tile, phone trembling in my hand, and tried to calculate how drunk or sleep-stupid I'd have to be to prank myself like this. When the knock came, it was gentle. 2 soft knuckles. Then stillness. "Food?" someone asked through the door, the voice blurred, as if the consonants had been rubbed off. "You ordered?" I hadn't. I checked the peephole anyway, because that is what you do when a voice says don't. The fisheye glass was gray. A shape moved, close enough to fog it. I stepped back, and my phone buzzed again. A second voicemail, timestamped 2:20 a.m., already there, already waiting like a future I hadn't earned. "Don't look," my voice said. "It learns faces. Do you still have the spare key under the plant? Throw it down the trash chute." The knocks returned, not gentle this time, a slow rhythm, patient. I pictured the building's stairwell, the echo that always came when someone ran up, the way sound bounced off plaster like a stray dog. I stood there counting seconds, miscounting, starting over. 94, 95. The hum from the hallway grew brighter, a noise you could almost see. At 189, my phone vibrated with a third notification, a text from an unknown number, a picture that wouldn't load. The little progress wheel spun and spun, the knocks faded. At 203, my voicemail icon cleared its throat. "Okay," my voice said in the third message, softer now. "You made it. The first night is the easiest. Tomorrow we move the mirrors." I turned every mirror in the apartment to face the wall and slept with the light on, the phone under my pillow like a fever. Before I slept, I checked the call log again, because disbelief is a stubborn animal. Incoming call. Me. Duration, 0. Time, 2:17 a.m. And below it, grayed out, already scheduled, an alarm I hadn't set for 2:20 a.m. labeled "Open if you want to keep your face." The hallway never smelled like anything until that week. Now it smelled faintly of warm pennies and rain-rotted cardboard. I left for work early, eyes sandpapered, mirrors turned, and found a note taped to my door with blue painter's tape. "Count slower." No signature, but my handwriting, a letter S that hooks downward like a fish. At noon, the fourth voicemail arrived, time-stamped 12:03, delivered at 12 o'clock. I sat in the stairwell to listen, ignoring the neighbor's toddlers shrieking 2 floors below. "Rule 2, my voice said. "Phones are porous. Don't play me on speaker. It will hear itself and come faster. Rule 3, if you hear me in the kitchen when you're in the kitchen, leave. I'm not me." I laughed aloud because it was absurd. You can't be stalked by your own voice. You can only be annoyed by it. I went back into my apartment, set my phone face down, and listened to the fridge hum. Hums everywhere now. The building muttered like an old man telling a joke to himself. The fifth message came 3 minutes ahead of 3-page M. "We need to shift the apartment by inches," my voice said. "Pull the rug north by the width of your palm. Angle the couch toward the door. Put salt on the windowsill. There's a draft you can't feel yet. It's not air." "North?" I muttered. I was a barista who got lost on her own block if she took a new podcast route. I opened Compass on my phone, and the needle spun in lazy circles. That was when the kitchen called my name in my exact voice. "Lena?" I felt it like a new tooth pushing through gum. The syllables were precise, the vowels mine. I had to know. I had to break my own rule before it calcified. "Here," I said, stepping in. The kitchen was sunlight and steel, a bowl of lemons, the cheap knife set my mother had warned me about. My voice came again from a spot near the sink, as if it had been folded into the tile. Count to 5 and look down, it said. Trust me. I counted. I looked. There, gleaming at the toe kick under the cabinets, was the spare key I'd thrown down the trash chute at 2:20 a.m. Scratched, wet, impossible. I didn't touch it. I took a photo instead, then another, when the screen briefly showed it 3 minutes more tarnished than it was. The sixth voicemail chimed at 3 o'clock on the dot, 3 minutes earlier. Good, my voice said. It can return what it takes. It expects you to take it back. Don't. Meet me at the elevator at 3:06. Bring the rug. At 3:03, a knock came from the inside of the fridge. I hauled the rug into the hallway like a body. The elevator doors stuttered, then parted, sighing like something relieved to be relieved. Inside, the mirrors were papered over with brown craft, taped from within by someone with my habit of tearing tape with teeth. Do not let it see itself, someone had written with a Sharpie that bled through. We rode to the lobby, me and my rug and the hum. Outside, the city was gray, a sky that refused to commit to rain. My phone vibrated, a seventh voicemail, 3 minutes ahead of 3:21 p.m. Get to the old gas station on Alameda, my voice said. Park by pump 4. Don't look at pump 3. If he asks for cash, say you don't carry it. When the radio kills itself, let it. Don't fix it. You were never a fixer. I drove because doing anything else felt like drowning politely. The radio died exactly 3 minutes after the weather girl promised sun I let it. The silence was a bright hole. At pump 4, a man with nicotine fingers approached, eyes washed with the tired blue of TVs left on too long. Cash only, he said. I don't carry it, I said, and he nodded like we'd shared a joke that wasn't funny. My phone buzzed before I could breathe wrong. Eighth message, 3:24. Good, my voice said. He's the kind one. Don't cry yet. The crying comes later, when you hear what you sound like to other people. There's a payphone on the back wall. It's hungry. Feed it with nothing. I walked behind the station. A payphone rusted there like a fossil with a jaw. I pressed the receiver to my ear and heard static like distant frying. Hello? I asked, and 3 minutes later a dial tone answered my question exactly, including the crack halfway through, hello. The man at the counter watched me pass through the glass, then looked away fast, as if turning would keep me anchored to the sidewalk. You okay? He asked when I re-entered to buy water I didn't drink. Define okay. Breathing, he said, mostly. On the drive home, my phone cached a ninth message, 3:33. You will want to go to your mother, my voice said. Don't. She will not hear you yet. She will think you are telemarketing grief. Go to the apartment. Stand in the doorway with the rug. You have to cover something that is not a hole. At 3:36, I stood in my doorway and saw it. A slight warping in the air where the threshold should have been, as if the afternoon heat had pooled and forgotten to be invisible. I unrolled the rug like a tongue and slid it forward until it lay perfectly wrong. From inside my kitchen, my voice sighed, almost. And from the living room, from the hum, from the apartment's lungs, another voice, close enough to kiss, replied, closer. Night came early, a trick of nerves. I placed salt on the windowsill, angled the couch like a question, and waited. The 10th voicemail landed at 11:57 p.m., time-stamped midnight. We have to talk live, my voice said. When the phone rings, pick up. You can survive one live call. Keep your answers small. Don't give it nouns. The phone rang at 12 hours, 0 minutes and 12 seconds. I answered. Hey, my voice said, gentle, a version of me that hadn't been chipped yet. Listen carefully. When we were 9, Dad buried the broken tape recorder under the jacaranda. He said the tree liked secrets. Do you remember? I did. Purple blossoms like paper hands. My father's rough humor. He died when I was 10, a quiet heart attack that stole his breath like a pickpocket. I remember, I said, a noun sneaking out. I bit my lip. The tape was of us, my voice went on. You talking, practicing new words. You were trying to pronounce azimuth for an hour. The recorder chewed it. The tree ate it. We need that tape now. Dig for it. You'll find plastic teeth. Bring them home. Lay them on the rug. They'll know the path back to the mouth. Why? I asked. Verb thin as thread. Because something followed me through a measurement error, my voice said. Because 3 minutes and 23 seconds is how long the hum takes to rehearse being you. Because the apartment learned your vowels when you first moved in, and you hummed to yourself to make it less lonely, remember? It's not a haunting, it's an audition. Silence pressed, cool and intimate, then softer, and because I need you to help me become me. What if I began. Don't, my voice said quickly. It will learn the shape of that question. Just go, dig. At 12:03, I slipped into shoes, into the night, into the hurt bright of the street lamps, and drove to my mother's house across town. The jacaranda in the yard was taller, almost kind. I knelt beneath it and pushed my hands into the soil that remembered everything I'd dropped. The shovel hit plastic. I dug around the little corpse. The tape recorder's cracked half-shell, the spooled tape like a midnight ribbon. The label on the cassette was water-ghosted but legible. Lenny Azimuth in Dad's block letters. Sorry, I whispered to the tree, which rustled like a parent talking in the next room. On the drive back, the 11th voicemail arrived early, 12:42 for 12:45. Good girl, my voice said, and I hated the phrase and loved the warmth in it. Place the tape on the rug, press play. If it plays forward, don't listen. If it plays backward, breathe. Don't repeat. Don't mouth along, it wants your lips. I laid the relic on the rug and pressed the stiff button, the tape word, backward. The apartment's hum thinned to a thread. My childhood self spilled out in reverse syllables, a bright river going uphill. From the kitchen, my voice spoke again, low and almost wrong. Azimuth. Azimuth. Something in the living room corrected, polished, pleased. I turned, finally understanding. There were 2 of them now, and only one was mine. At 2:16 a.m., the 12th message appeared fully formed. This is the last one, my voice said. Loops are hungry. You close them by becoming the thing you are afraid to be. What thing? I asked the empty room, relieved to use nouns, ready to risk it. A future, said the apartment from the living room, the not me, the audition's winner. I placed the recorder on the rug. The brown tape glowed like a healed scar. Tell me your rules, I said, facing the kitchen, the good hunger. Don't open doors when you know what's behind them, my voice, my real voice, said. Don't let mirrors complete a circle around you, not even with your eyes. Don't leave a room on a sentence you didn't start. And the last? If it calls, and the time says 0 ahead, my voice whispered, don't answer. That's not a future, that's a fold. The knocks came again, patient and almost tender. I let them. I pressed play. The tape unfurled backward, and the apartment leaned in to listen like a cat leaning toward music. In the kitchen, my voice coached softly. Count to 203. Live inside the numbers. On 203, leave the message we needed. I understood then. I had to be the voice that had saved me. I had to pick up in another room, another minute, and teach myself how to keep my face. I had to feed the payphone with nothing and tell the blue-eyed man I had no cash. I had to be kind to the girl who would be me. The future wasn't coming. It had come. It was waiting to hear itself. I dialed my own number. The clock read 2:17. Lena, I said when voicemail picked up, if you're hearing this, I'm 3 minutes and 23 seconds ahead of you. Do not open the door. Do not look through the peephole. Count to 203, then breathe. Across the room, the not me tilted its head, delighted. It had learned my cadence. It had auditions lined up in every apartment with a hum. What next? It asked, almost loving. Next, I said, and I did the thing I'd been told never to do. I closed the circle with a noun. Azimuth! The tape seized. The room exhaled. The hum went flat, like a singer caught pretending. The not me blinked, once, slow, and looked away from me, away from the sound, as if commanded by a star only it could see. Then it unstitched itself from the air, thread by thread, and the apartment remembered how to be an apartment again. My phone chimed one last time, no voicemail, just an alarm I hadn't set, labeled "Open if you want to keep your face." The text grayed out, past tense, harmless. I silenced it. I turned every mirror back toward me and didn't flinch. At 2:20 a.m., the screen lit with a call, me 0 ahead. I let it ring until the room was only a room, until the hum was only the fridge, until even my breath belonged entirely to me. Then, very gently, I powered the phone off and watched my reflection fade to nothing.